liquid currency or a liquid traded instrument while you're holding it, and if you turn around and want to sell out of it, it may be difficult, certainly at certain times, to find willing buyers for it, and so you have to stretch and lose more on liquidating that hedge. But back to the using and be critical. One of the things I teach options, and I often will make fun of the costless collar because it's used out there. I always tell people there was a case in the U.S. I want to say it was it was a consumer company that was sold that by a bank, and they were sold costless collars, and they believed that they were costless. But I mean, everyone here realizes that costless collar is anything but costless, correct? There is a cost to provide. You're buying the cap of the collar with a call option. You're buying the floor with a put option, and the premiums offset each other to equal zero. And then the market maker makes a profit by moving the strike price on one of the two towards their favor. So while there's no premium charge for entering into those instruments, they're anything but costless. They can be very expensive, even though there's no premium charged. So I never like to hear the word costless. Go ahead.
They also had a defined strike price above the certain cap, so above the cap, so that if it went above once it got hit, then if the movement of the Canadian US dollar went further out, for instance, if you had a massive devaluation against, like happened with Canadian dollar and the AUD against the USD, how such volatile those things were back in the earlier years. For instance, 1 minute it's parity, then it's above, and then below, and this sort of stuff. They actual fact found this was out of the money in their options. They actual fact they weren't hedging at all anymore. They were actual fact having to pay away on their options. They actual fact lost on their.
Yeah. So my comment, I have actually I was expert witness in a case that did this on the gas side. They were doing three-way options, and I really I'll be honest with you, when I originate hedges for commercial entities, for utilities, for power plants, I always want the business realities to drive the hedge structure, right? And the structures you're talking about, to me, seem sellable to someone who is taking a speculative, like I want a costless collar with the cap up here and the floor down there. To me, it divorces itself from the underlying purpose, which is to hedge risk. It's much cheaper and less complicated to not use options, rather than use fixed forwards. And so I really don't like the three-way options and things that you're describing. I find it very, I find that they're sellable when you think kind of simplistic about the situation of where you think prices may go, but they're not defended by the underlying business risk. And to me, that means they're not good hedges. But typically they're pushed by the investment banks, or they're advocated by sophisticated traders to companies that I guess are design. Maybe the companies are speculating, or maybe the companies are designing, want to have some sort of hedge put on place, but are straying from the main purpose, which is earnings risk avoidance.
Could we go back to your concern around hedging on capital expenditure? Maybe just talk us through why that's concerning to you.
Yeah, it helps a little bit that if it's oil and gas investing in the capital associated with production, maybe there's a justification there. But normally, what you're hedging is you're hedging earnings, right? So you're hedging things that materially affect earnings. The price of the commodity that you're selling, the cost of the commodity that